Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Live in the Dark with Videodrew, with me, Videodrew. It's been a hot minute, so just to remind you, this is still the show. I initially ordered this blanket from my 99-year-old grandmother who becomes chilly sometimes with the air conditioning on, but as it turned out, the delivery was perfect also for me to use. I'd come down with the flu bug and was running 100-degree fever, and then this blanket provides comfort, and I love that it's a burrito pattern. It looks like a giant, great big cooked tortilla. Needless to say, I love this blanket and definitely would recommend. She always has a smile on her face when we put it over her. Oh, that's the 99-year-old grandmother. If my opinion changes, I will update this review. And there's no second update. So I guess that's just how happy they are. This is what you can do. Just put that over your 99-year-old grandmother and welcome to the show. Roll tape. This one looks like a pizza, but it still says burrito blanket, which is very confusing. I feel like if you were teaching this in an ESL class, people would get very confused. There's other ones you can get too. There's a waffle. Let's see. We'll go over this later. We have a great show tonight, guys. A very special guest. It's Marisol Statue of Liberty McKee will be joining us in a hot minute to discuss, stuff. We have a game. We've got news, and oh yeah, we've got Crow host Danny. It's his time now. Bring him on.
You don't sound very excited.
For what part?
Hey, it's the time for the Crow host. Yay!
Well, it's not the Muppet Show. Like it's fine. It's fine the way I introduce. Fine because it's my show, and if I say it's fine, then it's fine, and that's exactly as much energy as I'm bringing to this production.
Me? Come on, you miss me.
Are you covered in blood?
No, I'm not covering blood. Why do you think I'm covering blood?
Oh, the microphone looked like it was like you got shot through the chest, and for some reason it looked like
here.
Yeah. So it looked like two-dimensional. It looked like that was just covering you. Oh, hi, thank you.
No. I can do this with the microphone, by the way.
Oh, no, I liked it more with the blood. Imagining that.
Yeah, because I need to speak as well. That turns off the microphone.
Oh, it turns it off. Okay, well, anyway, how are you in this lovely conversation we're having? Totally normal, natural.
Yeah, it's a very natural conversation. I feel nostalgic.
Why?
It's been a while, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Since we did this show, or just in general, it's been a while. Like, it's been
a while.
Yeah.
Like everything in life,
Yeah.
So
it has been a while. Some things have been short and less time, but they've still been a while. And other things have been like a hot minute, but still other things have been, it's been a while.
Yeah, at the same time, it feels like we talked with Drew? Like
who?
Yesterday, like Drew Barry.
Drew Barry?
Elliot, yeah. He was our last guest.
Drew Barry.
Wasn't he?
His name is Dewberry, but if we portmanteau
I say Drew Barry all the time.
But now, yes, I forgot that whole thing about how if we combine my name and his name, we get a name that sounds like Drew Barrymore, and then we could just, that would be our team name if we were a thing. But anyway, Danny, I'm not sure if you watched the Schmoedown. It's a movie trivia Schmoedown. It's a show where you answer movie trivia questions, and whoever wins is apparently the best, and they get to have an article of clothing that's bigger than normal sized, and that makes them special. And
never heard about it. Never heard.
Cool. Yeah. Oh man, where were you when I had an ex-husband? That doesn't make any sense. But that. Oh my God! Look who's on the screen.
I'm still mad by the Google thing. I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, right. I'm still mad about that. Yes, I'm still mad about my name. I forgot. I didn't look at the screen because I'm staring straight at the camera. But look at that. Look who it is. It's our good friend. I can get the name. Choco.
Nope.
Bobo.
It starts with a G.
Okay, Giancarlo Esposito.
No, but man, great actor.
Great actor, great in Breaking Bad. I guess the association there was with the blue meth, which is definitely what your Big Bird from not Argentina, from like Brazil.
Wow, don't you ever call me Argentinian. You know that pissed me off.
I mean, I don't know anything about Argentina except from the movie Evita. I was supposed to say another movie, but that was incorrect as well. And I only know your country from the movie Brazil. So,
which is actually has nothing to do with the actual Brazil.
It doesn't. They play the theme song from the song Brazil about 500 times approximately throughout the film, and it's grating. But that's
never watched a Brazilian movie, really?
I've seen the movie Brazil. I've seen City of God. Just stop it. I've seen City of God. Haven't we talked about this?
That's a Brazilian movie. You saw my movie about a guy in a chair.
Oh my God. I never said I didn't see a Brazilian movie. I never said that. I said I don't like the movie Brazil. Or if I didn't say that, I'm saying it right now. I don't like the movie Brazil.
It's a weird movie. Definitely.
I think it's dumb, but that's a hot take.
And
hi,
you're
Rob.
drinking hot tea, by the way.
Thanks for Adam's College just tipped $10, guys. I forgot to mention that my Streamlabs it's not going to make a noise tonight because I am currently somewhere that is not home, but I can.
Warehouse.
I'm currently in a warehouse with a Bob Marley poster, correct? But no woman, no cry, no minimum wage. That's how we do it over here. But
thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, because we have a very special guest. Thanks for reminding me about our very special guest. I'm going to see if anyone leaves a comment though, because I can definitely check that out. If I keep pressing buttons, go vamp for a second, Danny. There we go. Donation.
I like Adam Collins. I always joke with him that I want like the little coyote toy that he has.
You always joke with him?
Yeah, he's a good friend of LGR.
Well,
friend of the show.
He is a friend of the show. We're gonna have him on at some point. But
yeah, we need
tonight,
to.
We have someone even better on. Yes, I said even better because this person is the best that there is, and at the whole thing. I was saying Schmoedown earlier, but I just mean in life generally. This person's great. They're really pretty. They might be colorblind. And without further ado, let's just say who it is. Yeah, because they think the Statue of Liberty is like white or black, and that's just incorrect. So I have that on them. It is Marisol McKee. Yay! Yay! Yay!
Hello, Marisol.
Hello.
Hey, Marisol, what's up? Hi.
Hi.
So excited to have you on, love. This is going to be great. This is going to be so much fun. We are going to start with movie news, but I do want to start out this interview by just getting this question out of the way. In your own words, what makes you better than me?
I want to see that answer.
Is there a cap on the words? There's no cap. Okay.
Nope. Just
all right. I think I'm pretty. I think in terms
you are pretty.
Of, what?
Yeah, she definitely is.
Do not flatter the jury. Videodrew. I just think. I just think it's not a matter of better. It's a matter of law-abiding citizenship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the measure that we have to look at here. I think I just adhere to a stricter sense of the law, and maybe that's the comparison that we're drawing here. Not necessarily better, just different.
So, like, you're on the spectrum. You are a lawful, good, evil, neutral, or cat.
Cat is obviously the most diabolical in this scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's really what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, mine is neutral milk hotel, neutral chaotic. I think people want to say
neutral chaotic,
right? Because that means that like I'm not picking a side in this fight, and I don't want to hang out with RoboCop or the opposite of RoboCop, Terminator. Yeah, that sounds right. I'm still looking for Adam's comment if he left any. Adam, let me know if you left any comment and just write it in the actual comments so I can know.
I just like to fall more into that line that is more that dread evil. I'm just like that judge, jury, and executioner kind of vibe. That's what I fall into.
That Dread movie, that new Dread movie is quite a
Carl Urban.
It is quite a film that definitely exists. I watched it like literally last week, and I think I can remember like 3 things about that movie, and one is that Game of Thrones lady is on it, and I've never seen the original.
So I'm just going back.
Yep.
Can you remember the name of
Slow-mo?
Wow.
Somebody rewatched my past matches
No.
recently.
No.
Surprising, isn't it?
Huh?
She do research sometimes.
Okay, wait. I found out comment. I support Videodrew and Marisol hanging out. What is your favorite Crispin Glover film? Please discuss and enjoy your evening.
Oh Christ!
Please discuss.
There's no way he could have known this, but I have a very intense relationship with to Crispin Glover, due to accidentally having Airbnb'd from him 2 years ago. Yeah. And this place for Los Feliz. I'm not going to go into the whole story now because it gets kind of sad and tragic near the end. But it ended up that me and Crispin Glover's life have intersected in a variety of areas, starting with the time that I accidentally stayed in his giant haunted Los Feliz mansion, and ending with an actual death. So it is crazy. My favorite film of his, though, would be Wild at Heart, obviously.
Fair.
Jingle Bell.
The cockroaches.
Oh yeah. Someone's
Good
been
question,
setting up.
Mr. Collins. Good question.
I did actually watch Wild at Heart for the very first time recently, and it was absolutely as if somebody poured gasoline over my face, and then but then gave me a big hug while they were lighting the match. So it was quite a ride.
Welcome to the fun, wacky world of David Lynch, a category that I swear to God, the first time someone spins accidentally, like this is gonna be me and Bibbs and Whitney and Adam in the audience, like shouting, like, "Duh, obviously, Silencio!" It's gonna be hilarious. We're gonna be like, "No, it's Chris Isaac, not David Bowie. It's the other famous pop star cop in that film, or the FBI agent." Like, it's gonna be epic. If the questions are anywhere as deep as apparently the questions for Saturday Night Live movies can be, which apparently are incredibly deep.
I mean, that's as we know, we should know at this point. That's the risk when you've got a category that's 9, 10 movies. Yeah. Writers are gonna pull those fast ones.
Now, I have to say, I went into this match with a winner's mentality, because you always have to go in with a winner's mentality. But there was definitely a settle down and everyone temper their expectations for this match reality that I also went into this match, our match with, thinking it was going to be this epic blowout, thinking that it was going to be a KO, and I was trying to mentally and emotionally prepare myself for crying on camera in front of a live stream of hundreds, if not thousands, if Eric Whiteley fans had shown up, people.
Shout out to Eric Whiteley fans.
Yeah, hashtag blind wave or whatever. But we both got perfect first rounds, which I think is the first time, and I checked with Frank, 2 women have ever gotten perfect first rounds in the same game, which is we got that. And then,
nice.
Yeah, in my heart, do I wish that I had stayed on Kevin Hart? Yeah, but that's on me for not taking it. And the fact is that if you don't, if you didn't know Neil Berger's name, I was going to have the most fun with it that I've ever had with answering a question ever. Because the only reason I remember Neil Berger is because it sounds like Neil Hamburger, which is the guy who plays the Baskin-Robbins boss in Ant-Man.
Oh, that guy.
God, Baskin-Robbins.
I know. But if you had missed it,
the brain fart of the month for me, Baskin-Robbins.
It's okay. I forgot that Chris Miller and Phil Lord were people that did anything.
Or they robots or something.
Mm-hmm.
I said they were robots.
Now I'm just constantly making dunks on myself online about how I forgot about the Lego movie and stuff, and people don't seem to be able to put those 2 things together because people also forgot that Phil Lord and Chris Miller did 21 Jump Street. Not just me. Other people can forget that too.
Well, it's because they made such a splash with the Lego movie was just such a colossal hit. I mean, even though 21 Jump Street was, but like that was the first time that their name was being put in front of their product. Like their films.
That's the only time. Movie. I feel like that's the first time there was some respect put on their names. But you know what I was thinking during that entire question was, what was that movie with Phil Lord and Chris Miller? I always get the names mixed up too. Phil Lord and Chris Miller that they did with Kevin Hart. They wrote it along with Jorma and the guys from Lonely Island. And it was like Epic Movie or Extreme Movie, one of these parody movies. Yeah, one of the parody movies. And then that's how Jorma and the Lonely Island guys ended up co-writing Everything Is Awesome, which is how they ended up getting nominated for an Oscar. So like, I know things, it's just not the answer to the question. And I'm wondering, that's never happened to you, and why?
I mean,
give us the process.
I've had plenty. Look, we even brought up the dread. Like, look, I know firsthand there's so many things, especially with this game. The frustrating, like, love it, but like the frustrating part is what I think a lot of competitors fear is that moment of being asked a question that it feels like everybody knows the answer to except you. Yeah, and I hate that moment. Yep. I hate that question. Yeah. And I've had a couple of them so far. Recently in the free for all, I think totally the Baskin Robbins. Like it's the reason that I got knocked out of the free for all as early as I did was that the Baskin Robbins question was just why everybody in the room knew except for me at that moment.
It would have been so good if you had missed on Who Directed the Upside. It just would have been so good. But no.
It would have.
I think like me and Lon would have made the connection to Greg Turkington, the guy whose alter ego Neil Hamburger would be the only reason you remember the name Neil Burger, who makes, I think, otherwise like kind of middling movie. Oh wait, we got a huge donation. Sorry about that. Like I said, guys. We did. Oh my gosh, we got a huge donation. Patrick Harden saying it's late over here, but I wanted to say hello to Videodrew and Lady Justice. Have a good evening. Thank you, Patrick Harden. That's $110 on the pot. Thanks, guys. I should have mentioned that we have Streamlabs open. Yeah,
that's a good dude.
Patrick.
Thank you,
Patrick.
That's a quality guy.
That's awesome. Do you know who that is, or are you just basing that off the money?
No, he didn't buy my affection with that. No.
That just can't be bought.
I don't get to talk with a lot of he's one of the fans that I have talked with, and he's a more than decent person. He's really good dude. He's my favorite kind of person in this community that is like a very well-rounded, just honest, even-keeled fan. Not
a social goblin.
Yes. Very, very practical, very respectful, and just a genuine true fan of respectful of everybody in this game. You know, it's reflective of the best parts of this community.
I feel like it is very funny. When I first joined the league, I attracted, you might say, a certain type of fan that was crazy. Right. But also, like, there'd be like intermittently sprinkled in there between like people that were very intense and would send me very long messages. I mean, crazy in a non-judgmental sense, because I'm clearly not well up there. And also during the time I started the Schmoedown, as a lot of people know, I was going through a breakup, a car accident, moving across country, and being threatened as a witch by my roommates who threatened to drown me in the reservoir. It was a whole thing, guys. It was a bad period of time. So the Schmoedown was like a really helpful place for me to like use it as an outlet and not care about winning and not really know what was going on and just, be weird. And then there were some people in the community though, like, and the whole community, it felt very like Midsommar. If you think of Midsommar as like a happy rom-com, which is how I like to think of it. Like everyone just really accepted me and like was super nice. And I get that it's not for everyone to burn your boyfriend alive in a bear suit, but like for some people, that's what's cathartic for them.
That's their happy place. That's their closing shot. Yeah.
So spoilers for Midsommar, I forgot to mention at the top of the show. We haven't gotten to the news section of this program, which is what we usually do. I've just had so much fun talking about questions that I've missed with you, Marisol. But yeah, we have some news, which is movie news, and Danny will read them out loud, and we will do it. Videodrew, you know me too, says Patrick. Yes.
Oh, that's Patrick, right?
Got you. Yes, we have been talking this week. Sometimes people need to tell me. So other people besides me don't have their name actually be their screen name, and that's very confusing for me. And you should all change it, like legally change your name to your handle. Okay, movie news.
Like Videodrew is your actual name, of course.
Yeah. Yep. It is. Go ahead.
All right, Kermit the Frog, Miss Peggy, Gonzo,
Who?
and my great friend Garibaldo, the Brazilian Big Bird,
Garibaldo.
and the rest of the Puppets Pals will star in their first ever Halloween special, Muppets Haunted Mansion, dropping this autumn exclusively on Disney+.
Sorry, read the second name again for me.
The second name?
Yeah, it was Kermit and who?
Miss Piggy.
Yeah, who's Miss? I heard Miss Peggy.
Yeah.
And part of the fun of this show is just making fun of your accent, which is really punching above my weight class.
Sometimes when I drink, Portuguese and English sometimes mix up in the.
Sometimes spills happen. I like this because I love the idea of everything. Just it was so great when the Haunted Mansion first became an IP that was being used, and so this can't be any better, I think, than the Eddie Murphy movie. But somehow the Muppets, which have revamped about 18. Let's just say 25 times since I've been alive, they've tried to bring back the Muppets in some way. This seems like the obvious natural choice is to put it with a Disneyland ride that's already proven itself to be a really, really good story that people are interested in. And then, Miss Peggy's there.
Miss Piggy.
It can't be any better than the original Haunted Mansion movie. I mean, it can't be any worse, right?
Yes, it was sarcasm.
Okay.
Yes, okay. It was sarcasm. Jennifer Tilly might not be in this one, but I mean, she's busy. Was that Jennifer? No, was it Jennifer Tilly or Jennifer Coolidge? Oh my God, now I'm going crazy. No, it was.
Shout out to Ferris. He donated $10.
Why am I not seeing the donation? Sorry, guys. Yikes! It's supposed to make a little noise, so I don't know.
We should do like more pauses between the show. Like
you mean like pauses, like me stop talking? Yeah, we should. So every 5 minutes, I'll shut up and.
No, pauses between shows, like hiatus.
Like, yeah, we should pause for more times always. Hey, says Ferris. Oh, hello. Sorry, I read that wrong. It says hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So, I think the thing that's really cool about the Haunted Mansion right now is I was just reading an article that's saying that, because of the mask issue, Disney is now actually spying on people online to make sure. Is it spying if I want them? Issue? The mask, people not wearing masks. People refusing.
There's still people not wearing masks in America.
Have you been to America?
No, he's never been to America.
Okay, there were bitches never wearing masks. Okay.
Yeah, they're it's like a never nude, but it's for wearing masks and being safe. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing here, Danny. They're still not wearing masks to the point where originally what Disney was doing was photoshopping masks onto patrons for the Splash Mountain rides. That was a real thing. They were and somebody caught it and was this is obviously a photoshopped mask. So now what they're doing is spying on you through the little peephole things and people's eyes in the portraits of the Haunted Mansion and shouting out put a mask on, or they'll have someone come up and give you a mask, but they're literally admitting that they can view you and are surveillancing you through these Haunted Mansion rides. And I think the Muppets could really address this in a topical and timely way. That would be very funny.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to the angle that I need on the current political scene or topical issues. There's Rachel Maddow and Miss Peggy.
My ex-husband Rachel Maddow and Miss Peggy. Yeah, okay. I would put Beaker pretty high up there, but
we're not really going to let it go, right?
Oh no, he became a QAnon truther. Never mind, I forgot.
That tracks.
Yeah, all that meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You should have seen that.
Oh wait, that's Honeydew. Never mind. I was thinking of the wrong guy. They all look the same to me. Is that okay to say anymore, or is that not?
Is that Muppet? Is that Muppet?
Yeah, that's Muppet. Okay. Next question.
There is no question. Next news segment.
Next news. Can you send a message? Oh yeah, I see what you're saying backstage. There you
go. Warner Brothers is searching for a new Superman after enlisting. Jesus, Sean, really?
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
What?
You got it. You got it. It was Ta-Nehisi Coates.
No, fuck's sake.
You got it.
Ta-Nehisi. Oh, now I got it. Ta-Nehisi Coates to write the latest feature on the superhero. The studio is searching for a black director and a black star for this iteration.
That's dope. I didn't realize it was Ta-Nehisi Coates who was writing it. I wonder how he's a good fiction writer, and he's a great essayist, great writer. I had a bunch of his collected things from the New Yorker, but I've never thought about him doing a Superman story. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm actually unfamiliar. Weirdly, I guess feel like the opposite of most people. I'm unfamiliar with his comic book work. That's the stuff that I'm unfamiliar with.
I didn't know he did comic books at all. Does he? Is that a thing that everyone knows about Ta-Nehisi Coates? I know him as a very serious essayist who writes about issues.
Exactly. The first time I heard him, he was on NPR, and I was like, oh. I was like, this guy is legit. He's a serious person. It's no.
When I was at the New York Observer, we wrote about him a lot. He worked for the Atlantic. He's you Google his name, the first thing that comes up is the case for reparations in the Atlantic. Not dude's a big comic book writer. But that's awesome.
He dabbles. He's a man. He's a jack of all trades. He dabbles in both. And it's even kind of cool because that's almost kind of exactly the person that you might want to have, right? You might want to have writing a superhero story to give it that perspective. Those are the best.
Yeah, I was just saying he did a Black Panther run and he did a Captain America run. Did he do the one where Captain America is black and he fights? I know there was one that sort of mirrored a little bit what happened in the events of the TV show, the Falcon and Winter Soldier thing, where he fights the nude Captain America, and it was a whole thing. Was that run? Somebody in the comic book nerd section of the audience tell me. Do you see anybody that you can immediately think of to star in this iteration? I know you're a big DC fan of the DCs.
I do like the DCs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or direct, or direct.
Yeah, it's. I really haven't thought too hard about that yet. It would be hard. I'm almost tempted with this kind of thing, which is what I really liked when they cast Brandon Routh back a while back.
Brandon Routh,
with
put some respect
Superman
on his
Returns. Name. Yeah, with Superman Returns. And obviously Christopher Reeve, I kind of like the idea of an unknown, and honestly Henry Cavill pretty much to some extent. I like the idea of bringing in a fresh face.
Yeah.
To
what
this
about
role.
The Bridgerton guy. The Bridgerton guy, I feel is very. He resembles the Superman guy. I think in my mind the most. He looks like how I think Superman.
He is chiseled. I mean that. Yeah.
And I didn't see that show, but I watched his SNL episode, and he has good physicality, which I think is the number one most important thing to a Superman story. Is you gotta buy that this dude is unrecognizable when he puts on glasses, and that when Batman v Superman, where at the end there's a obit for Superman, and then on the next page there's an obit for Clark Kent, and it's the same picture but with glasses. You gotta understand that that's a. In their world, that doesn't make sense. You have to understand, in their world, it's not tracking. And it did in the original Christopher Reeve movie. She was on to him. But in the rest of the world, you have to believe that it doesn't track. So you have to have someone with good physicality who can slump their shoulders or act like a dork or whatever.
Who can
Clark Kent's
physically person. Yeah, I know what you mean. I would actually need to think in that a little more. How do you research unknown actors? But yeah.
I might give it to somebody like Boots Riley. Give it to someone just real, a real off the cuff director, who's done one thing that was really not divisive, but kind of divisive, and who has very strong opinions about how things should be, and give him a Superman movie. And
I love that.
Right? The only thing is you cannot put Armie Hammer in it. That's the only thing that I require.
No, but that's such a good point, because I think all of us are salivating for are so ready for what after Sorry to Bother You, all of us are ready for what he would do next.
Oh my God, right?
And
that movie was bonkers. Even for me, I was watch that movie and I was is anyone else seeing this? This is just crazy.
Yeah, that for him, it would have to be if they could combine that, and if they were going to play with this Superman, because one of my favorite storylines and things in Superman lore is just the notion of Bizarro and Bizarro World.
Yes,
going into that this weird fucked up like what if kind of like version of Superman, and you combine that, just you got me like thinking about it right now, combining that with Boots Riley's like instincts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a killer.
Yo, that's
killer
actually
movie.
the best idea I've
That is
ever
a great
heard.
pitch.
I totally forgot about the Bizarro World part of Superman because I've never actually seen it done on anything, because I haven't seen it done in any of the movies, at least. I think the only time I've ever seen a Bizarro version,
like Superman 3, like
I never saw that
or so.
movie. So
Technically, that's, I don't know.
That's the
I just
closest we
think
got. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only time I've seen a Bizarro World is in the episode of C-Lab 2021 when like they had Bizarro versions themselves, and one guy was just like a little penguin that went like, Bizarro, I love you, and it's like, no, he's allergic to peanuts. But like that's its own thing. But you're right. Yes, the Bizarro Superman world could be totally wild and like Charlie Kaufman-esque, and I think Boots Riley is the perfect person to do that. So we've solved your thing, Hollywood. You're welcome. You're welcome. All I want to do is that Leonardo DiCaprio gif of like, yes, yeah. Okay, next question, or like news, and then we're done.
It's always next. Oh, okay. Marvel Studios released MCU Phase 4 movie trailer that features new footage and confirms release dates and titles for upcoming films. Titles like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and The Marvels are good examples of that trailer. I like that trailer, by the way. That
trailer, yeah, it made me cry first thing in the morning, but I don't think it made me cry. Yeah, but I cry really easily, A. And B, it wasn't, I can't remember the moment now. It was before they even did the like Chadwick Boseman Wakanda Forever part that I started crying. I think I started crying. Oh yeah, when Groot showed up with his family and they were like, we are Groot. I just started bawling because I'm like a child. And I was like, there's more than one of them. That's already like too much feeling in my feelings.
What always gets me, no matter what, is just always, and I love that they put it actually in a official trailer, is the audience reaction from like premiere night. That when I used to watch that video like on repeat, because you're saying about crying, I would actually cry watching. It sounds really silly to say out loud, but like I would actually cry watching that because of how much I get it. Like, and I understood how much that moment means to like movie lovers and fans and people who like bleed for this and love this, and to just feel like that swell and that just like deafening like roar of like all these people hitting this like high, like maybe in their life, like all at once in a room. I was just like, oh my God. And that to be captured in a video in a moment and immortalized, and then for them to like bring that back. Yeah, to bring that back and use it very wisely. Like right before they're like, and now here's all our new movies. But like to do that was just brilliant. Like that was, they got me.
Look, so, yeah. I have to say, like, I've never been part of like a fandom per se. I mean, I really like Buffy and certain things have been popular, but I've never like, I guess my first thing was Rent. I was on a Rent like email message board back in the like mid 90s, late 90s, whatever. Point being, I really love the musical Rent. And that was like a big fandom I was part of. Yeah, Rent, the Christopher Columbus movie, but it's a musical about AIDS. Whatever. It did not age well.
Called Lease. I thought that was called Lease. Oh no, it's called.
No, it's Rent to Own. And I never really got into the Harry Potter thing or anything, but I remember one time watching a fan reaction video, or like somebody, maybe I was watching the movie, but like did like a dub that was someone taping it in a theater of the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And I had never seen another Harry Potter movie. Like I started with the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And by the end, I was, yeah, why not? And I mean, maybe I'd seen the first one and I'd read the first book, but I had no idea what happened in between. Then I just was watching this movie and I just started bawling at a certain point. And I found it like this weird physical triggered reaction to hearing all these other people in the audience like crying. It's like watching someone vomit or something, where I was just like, had like a impulse reaction to just start doing what they were doing. And then like that became like my favorite movie for like a month or two, where like all I would do was get up every weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, and just watch The Deathly Hallows Part 2 with no context, trying to fill in the gaps for myself about who these people were to each other. Yeah, what the fuck a Patronus was. Know what a Patronus is, or a Horcrux, or a Hallow.
Why this guy doesn't have a nose?
Who's Dobby?
Who's Dobby?
Who are they talking about? Like, I have no idea. Like what's a Wormtail? Who's Cedric? Like what happened to the professor? Like I had no idea. Like I don't know. I was like, who? They kept talking about like somebody's godparent, and I was like, I don't know who that is. I didn't know where the Quidditch game went.
I still doesn't understand the game.
I still don't understand. Like I don't. And going back and having rewatched and then watching and then like getting into all the books. Like I understood the fandom, or I understood like the concept of it, and it hit me emotionally because I went backwards and like started with the end and started with like the hype. And I kind of did that with Lost, I think, as well. I started watching Lost the day that it ended. I watched the very first episode of Lost, and because I was like, I refuse to do things when other people are doing them. I have to be cool and do them on my own time. So the moment it ended, I was like, I'm going to be into Lost now and talk about it forever, but just season 1.
Season 1 is actually pretty cool.
Season 1's great. But I'm not sure. Are you like that? Are you very contrarian, Marisol, or do you like things like a normal person?
I wouldn't use the term contrarian, but I'm like wallflower-esque, I guess. I am like you in the sense that like when something is like big and like everybody's exploding and like creaming their pants over it, I'm just like I don't want to be swayed by anything, so I usually kind of like cool my jets and like hang out in like the slow lane and then kind of catch up on it afterwards, like you know. I definitely did that with Lost, to your point. And then every once in a while, there are things that I don't do that with. Like when Heroes came out, because one of the shows around the same time when Heroes was on the air, I was watching that avidly every week. It's weird. Like you'd think I would have been doing that with Lost, but I did that with Heroes. Absolutely with Game of Thrones. I watch Game of Thrones every week. I couldn't help it. Game of Thrones, like I have or exceptions or whatever to the rule. In Game of Thrones, I was up its butt every week. Like I was all over it.
By the 3rd episode, I was like, I'd read all the books already. Like by like the episode 3, I went through like 20,000 pages worth of material. But yet I refused to study for Schmoedown. But like I will read 3 whole novels to catch up with this TV show whose like context I do not need to know. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. For me, I had never read. I've still never read the Game of Thrones books. I'm that fan. I've never read the books, so my introduction was the show, and that was the hook. So I was hanging on the show like a prized possession every week because it was my only in into this world and these characters. I had no context outside. I had friends who had read it and they were trying to drop me hints, and I was just like, shut up, shut the fuck up. Like I was just telling them to just not tell me anything about anything to do with the show, because I was just holding on to what the showrunners were giving me every week.
And how'd that work out for you?
Especially by the end.
So it actually like really it worked out spectacularly, because when those moments happened, they hit me like somebody stabbed me in my pregnant belly. Like they hit me like a punch in the face. Like all those big moments in the series completely hit me like a gut punch.
Well, that's why, they did a very good job with that specifically, because that happens completely differently in the book. For example, the pregnant woman is not killed because she's secretly in on it, and she's like part of that thing. So like it's all they do enough where like they would twist it around on you, so even if you thought you knew what was coming.
That's what was making me so much more interested in it, because my friends even were telling me, like, the people who had read it were just like, they were just like, yeah, I read it, but like, Jesus, they do this. And like, they were talking about all the ways that they would switch it up. And I found that fascinating. And it also made me, like, with the end of the series, it made me actually a little bit more, especially, I mean, I feel like we all had to, this is a whole separate thing, but like.
No, go ahead. Go. We literally have all the time in the world, I assume. Yeah.
I mean, the series, like, Martin hadn't finished the series anyway, so I feel like by the time we got to the end, and by the time we get to the 8th season, we're all in the same boats, whether you'd read, like you said, like thousands of pages of the books or not. or were completely new like me. We're all in the same boat at this point. We're all just like at the writer's whim, the showrunner's whim. And I was like, for me, I was just like, look, however they want to do it is however they want to do it. I was disappointed, but I don't think I wasn't as disappointed to the extreme that I think a lot of people were.
I wasn't either, but I think this is the nature of how television works for me, different than film, because by nature, like I'm not a movie person per se. Like I know that's a weird thing to admit, but like I'm not really a movie. I've now watched a bunch of them and I study them a lot, but I'm definitely like a television person. I like
the different kind of passion, right?
I think it's just for me, and I'm not saying one is qualitative, like, or objectively or qualitatively better than the other. I'm just saying I like the stories being able to be developed, and I like the idea that like showrunners are having an interaction with the fans, so like things can actually shift and change, and characters can develop differently based on like what we feel is like what we want for the show and what we want for these people, whereas movies are like static, they're fixed. It's what Marshall McLuhan would say, it's like a hot medium or something, or cold medium.
They are what they are.
They are what they are. They are artistic statements. They're installations from a collective of people with like a director at the helm. But it is I remember being a kid and being like, but I want to know more about like the world of Hocus Pocus. Like, where's the extended universe for that? Like, I wanted to always know more about the worlds that I was watching in movies, and I never felt like I got the complete picture. But for stuff like Lost and Game of Thrones, I was never really disappointed in the finale, because I was like, that's not the culmination of the show. People think it is, because that's where it ends, and nobody likes endings. So, like, in a way, you're never going to please anybody with an ending for a long-running popular series, because they just don't want it to end. So endings are always going to be somewhat of a letdown, sort of like breakups. There's no good way to do it. But it just didn't really hit me. Like, they never really bothered me, the Game of Thrones endings. I don't remember Game of Thrones the way everyone else does with that shitty last season. I remember like the good times.
Yeah, to act like the 8th season undoes 7 like excellent seasons, you have to be like a troll of like epic proportions. I'm sorry to try to act like the yes, disappointing, but for me not like completely like abominable like 8th season doesn't derail how the first 7, like that is literally like one of my favorite shows of all time, and it doesn't take away anything.
What was the first fan thing that you remember being as a kid? Because like, let's just admit it, like we've moved away from the Schmoedown stuff, but you are extremely good at movie trivia. And I was wondering, is that something that just like came naturally to you growing up? Did you like love movies? Were you like really into? Was there a certain film that you saw that you were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the thing I do? Or are you just like this across a wide variety of subjects and like a super genius who can do this for anything? I
would love to say the latter. But it's completely the former. I love movies. Like, movies are my thing. I've been a weird, goofy, geeky film nerd from like a really, really young age. Like, I would make little charts and like spreadsheets about like my favorite quotes and my favorite quotes, my favorite scenes from like movies. When I was a teenager, I would.
What were some of them? Do you remember?
I made a lot about the Matrix.
That wasn't a snort. That wasn't a snort. That was like
a lot of people did as well.
Who did it?
Who did make spreadsheets about the Matrix?
Matrix, the Shrek movies. That's a shame. That's a shameful admission. But yeah, and I would rewrite. I would like rewrite the scripts on some of my particular like favorite movies, because I also loved writing. Like, I really wanted to be a film critic. That was my dream job. Like, my dream job was being a film critic. I would like open up the Sunday paper, and I loved reading. Like, in Philadelphia, we had 2 major film critics.
Yes, we did. Sorry, I'm from right outside there. So yes, I remember this growing up.
There was like Carrie Ricky and like Steve Rea or something. Like, it was like, I think, or maybe I switched their last names around. But those were the 2.
They were like our Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, one was from the Examiner, right? One was for the Inquirer.
One was the Inquirer. think.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I know you're right from around. You're in the tri-state area, girl, just like me.
Delmarva for life.
But yeah, like so I got used to like I would get inspired by those people, and I was like I want to write, like especially in the 90s, like before internet journalism and like internet blogging and everything, like that's what it was, like
Yes.
people writing, like it was like the coveted opinion of like a couple people in a newspaper, like that was your opinion on movies, that was the go-to, and I was like, I want to be that person, I want to be that bitch. It's like writing paper.
You want to be Pauline Kael, like you want to just tank a movie by its. You want to be that woman from Birdman who's just tanking the thing by the. I mean, that's a very
yeah.
Shout out to
I think
Birdman.
it's very interesting. As somebody who was a film critic for many years and was an editor of like Rex Reed, for many years, of Talk About Superman, somebody who was in Superman 3 as himself because he was such a famous critic. Notoriously, as he got older, he's been very wrong on a bunch.
Every single week. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
She's going to be back.
She'll be back. It's a glitch in the matrix. That's what we call it.
Oh, it's always a glitch in the Matrix, or it is basically Eric uploading some Schmoedown video, probably as well.
He might be uploading a promo for our team's tournament match this week.
Exactly. But besides film criticism, you are an editor as well. Like I heard about it, that you do video editing as well.
I do. I wish I did it like more career wise, like on the regular, to get paid. But editing is my specialty. I do through when I went to school for video production. I learned. I kind of changed track, and I learned that like
Hi.
I did love writing. Hey,
and she's alive.
Let's hear about that, guys. What were you saying?
I was just talking quick about how I do love writing, but I also learned when I was studying production that I realized I had learned that editing was really like something that is really just a niche. Like that's really where one of my strengths in my heart is editing.
God bless you, and God bless Eric and anyone who can do editing. I remember taking one editing class. We had at Oberlin. I had a crazy year, which had not my year, but like the group of people.
Me.
Like, right. Bless you too. I'm saying that like my year, we had one film production course. The rest was film theory. I took like Bertolucci and Godard. I taught a class on Twin Peaks. There was a bunch of film theory classes you can join, but only one in actual production / like filming, editing. And it was a class with me, Lena Dunham, Sarah Violet Bliss, who does that show Search Party, Ben Sinclair, who is the guy from High Maintenance, like and the creator and the runner. And like I sometimes look back and I'm like, what the hell happened there? We had one class where you could learn like editing and actual filming, and the rest was just theory. And then there's like 8 kids from that class just happened to grow up and be like pretty successful TV and movie writers. And it's crazy to me because I'm like, what did I do wrong? And I realized what it is was I hated editing. Like I got so meticulous about like my ADHD brain works in a very dumb way about editing, where like it'll get hyper focused on like, we call it in this household, we call it this font has modern line issues, because it's what happens when I try to put credits over something, and I'll get really obsessed with the font and like, trying to make it bigger, smaller, like it will take 2 hours. And then I'm like, oh shit, like, and then just leave the rest of the thing unedited. So anyone who can edit, great. Writing's easy. Editing's hard. That's facts.
I don't know if that means that I'm bad or good at editing, because I'm also pretty meticulous about it, and I will spend a lot of time on editing, because
I mean, no, that means you're good at it.
Yeah, you need to be detail oriented.
Yeah. Sure. My thing is, I would be hyper focused, detail oriented. It would take all night, and then I was like, oh, I just figured out what size the like font credit should be, and not do the rest of the project, and just not bother doing it. I remember one time I was like, it's just enough that I cut my own bangs for a scene, and then like the scene shouldn't need like shots or music or like edits. I'm like, it's kind of how I'm bad at TikTok and Instagram and all the things, because I just refuse to make cuts, because that seems hard to then sync up with other stuff.
It's not cuts is the best part of editing.
Well, that's probably why everyone's better at TikTok than me. I'm assuming. You on TikTok, Marisol?
Yeah.
What is a clock? What TikTok clock? What?
The TikTok clock. Exactly. It's like it's like the clock thing from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
It's a place where people dance.
Well, don't focus on it.
well then sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
No,
it's like OnlyFans, but for all the good stuff.
I never understood why. Like I never understood what happened. Why Vine stopped being a thing, but then TikTok became a thing. Like I was like, wait, so like everybody's just like, okay, Vine, you suck. Like I never got it. I was like, why did Vine die? I don't get it.
I don't know. I think if Vine was still around, we'd still have Bo Burnham on social media. So I feel like I'm very angry that like Vine went away. Like we would still have him. Like that was his one like thing that I feel like he'd still be doing, but now he's just gone forever. And we have to wait until his like next Netflix special.
I was gonna say you can hold on for his next Netflix special.
I screamed when I saw that. He was the part of Promising Young Woman that I was like, I don't think this is the film's point, but I would like to watch a whole movie about that character. And she's like, I think that movie would have been good if the entire movie was from his POV, and it's almost like a Fatal Attraction thing. We don't know why like things are getting weird around him, and then it turns out it's this chick, and then we find out the implications of it, and it's like a mic drop. But that's just because I really like Bo.
I feel like that has to be so polarizing because I was familiar with Bo Burnham. I think my expectations were very high for like what his character was going to be about. I think I just like,
that third act of that movie just fell apart. But that's...
yeah. Like I just like I think that's why I was so colossally like disappointed with like what happened. Like what like I just was expecting something so much weirder and abstract and different to happen with his character, and then I was just like, oh well, okay.
Yeah, because I thought his character like was like a good metaphor for how I feel about him as a performer, which is like he did a lot of stuff when he was very young that like I can't stand, and like I find like not just like gross or like I'm over it because I don't like certain kinds of like crude humor, but like actually offensive and like bad and not cool.
Because he was like a 17-year-old person.
He was a 17-year-old person. And but like, what are we not going to hold him accountable?
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks that it's all, and he, bless. I don't know why I'm blessing everyone. I don't believe in God. But I don't, like, I think it's.
But does he believe in you? That's the question.
That's a Bo Burnham lyric, literally. Maybe God does not believe in you. Anyway, I think it's really like it says something important that he knows not to like take those videos down off of YouTube or like try to hide it. Like he's always been like, yeah, like I was 16 and everything I did was like I recorded, and like that's unfortunately out there, and like I'll try to be better. And so I think that thorny line of like where that character ends for me and where he as a person probably begins got like very blurry, because I also felt the same way. Like just like that third act was felt like a different movie. Felt like that Christian Slater movie where they bury whatever. Anyway, guys, I think it's time for us to play a game. Hey, Trevor, it's past your bedtime.
Yeah, Trevor, come on.
Secret weapon. Trevor's the reason I got my 5-pointer.
Right.
Trevor and Chris Ingle is the reason I got my 5-pointer in our game, Marisol, because I have gone over that question about 5 times about the Notebook. And every single time I've been asked that question in study group, I've said James Brolin, because I thought it was Josh Brolin's dad. I know the actor. I know it's the Maverick guy. I just always thought it was James Brolin. And so like around the 3rd or 4th time, I was like, fuck this. I'm going to remember it's James Garner. This is the only question I knew. In that third round.
Shout out to Single. He got a promotion, because everybody's getting promotion these days.
Yeah, people have jobs and stuff. That's cool.
No, yeah, promotion here, Drew. He become a bot. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah. He did that too. Congratulations on becoming a moderator, Chris Single. Shout out to you, guys. That's a good time, I guess, to mention right before we segue very naturally into this game that we have. Please just Streamlabs and everything. I know I'm not checking it that much tonight, but I will continue to check it and read off any comments. Oh no, am I still here? Yeah. And also, guys, sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/Videodrew, where you can do things like our study sessions or come join us for Cinema Bias or a VideoChronic pop culture quiz. And that's my mid-episode plug. Not mid-episode. Don't worry. We're further to the finish line than you think. Yeah. So after this, we do have a show for an after show for patrons only. So we'll be joining on Zoom after this. But I want to talk a little bit about the game tonight. It's going to be called, I think I named it Streetcars Named Desire. And it's for you, Marisol. It's all for you. This is based on your love. I've been told, of the actress Meryl Streep, for whom I have now read a biography. In preparation for our match, I have read the biography about Meryl Streep that came out from 2016. That unfortunately, at the end of which I realized only goes up to her career as far as the French lieutenant's wife, and then it's like, and then she had a great career. Like the end, like it was basically just about the John not Cassavetes, John Casales, or
John
it was just
Cazalia,
because it was about the John Cazalia years and like her growing up. So I got those years down great. You asked me what year Kramer versus Kramer is, and I'll tell you the exact right answer. Like versus Deer Hunter versus like the one she did with Alan Alda that they renamed The Seduction of
Joe Tannen.
Yeah, ask me that question, would have nailed it. But then like anything post French Lieutenant's Woman or whatever would have been dead in the water. Like Sophie's Choice, I don't know which kid it was, or
only the next like 55 movies she made.
Yeah. And cool. I've watched Mamma Mia 2 for our match, Marisol. I just want you to know that. Mamma Mia 2.
Wow.
Well, I didn't.
That is a sacrifice.
You're better than me because I still haven't brought myself to watch that shit.
It is trash.
I've heard.
So bad. But so based on your love of Meryl Streep, which I've heard is infinite, and I hope that's not giving anything away in terms of anyone who might be playing you, because as I've learned, you're a very well-rounded player, and there was literally no guessing what you were going to be putting on that wheel. But you do like Meryl Streep. So in this game, we have taken Meryl Streep and put her into other movies. And the game is going to be, and there's no winners, so don't get too high-horsey about this right now, is that we...
calm down.
That's a game
I was about to bust
to
out
win,
my blindfold.
Yeah, there's no belts at stake here. What we're going to do is work collectively. It's going to be a team building exercise. No one's going to put on sunglasses and like write on a giant whiteboard.
I promise I'll smile during this one. I don't smile during my matches.
Is that a note you've been getting? That's so dumb. Like, who cares if you smile?
No, I don't know. I made that up.
Okay, good. Because I was like, if somebody's been telling you to smile more during the matches, it's time to go off.
I did get a fan that
needs to smile.
Yeah, I did get somebody who said, you need to smile.
Wow.
Smile, sweetheart. No.
Shit. Damn. Yeah, redirect them over to me if they need to see some smiling, because I never got a compliment on my smile.
I hear that enough from men in my life. I don't need to hear it from
Jesus.
There we go. Now we have sunglasses on the game.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, can you also get a giant whiteboard to compensate? Like,
I don't need to compensate.
And a blue marker. And a shitty blue marker.
I mean, your hands are red big enough.
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Can you hear like? Do you guys hear like a whirring? Because I feel like there's a whirring sound.
Like there's a ghost on your room right now.
No, but that's a great audio.
Okay.
So Meryl Streep has been in practically every movie I think that's ever been invented, and she's won 3 Academy Awards, and she's been nominated 21 times. 20 times.
Jesus Christ.
She's been nominated 21 times. Correct.
21 times.
That
yes.
gets boring after some time, right?
And I can tell you all three wins and in the first nomination and everything, but then everything else.
And 1 KO. Oh, I gotta talk about something else. Okay.
So let's put Meryl Streep into some movies and see how she'd fit into some of these already existing IPs, and let's see if we can bring that intense DC-esque Meryl Streep fandom to some other beloved properties. Okay, let's go. Time for Sean to do his job. Okay, there we go.
I love the paint aesthetic here. Like
that's good.
Paint.
So her name is Cousin Topsy. Oh, I remember this scene. This is another movie I also watched now. Thanks, Marisol. Along with The Dark Knight. So this is interesting. I feel like this is a very natural one because Cousin Topsy looks like a DC Rogues Gallery villain. Like this looks like she's going to poison Ivy.
She does look like the Riddler's stepmother. She does.
Yes.
The Riddler.
I like the Mad Hat, because of her.
There we go. That's the origin story of the Riddler. There we go.
Yeah, who
did pop up? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that's pretty good. I also think that like because her deal in Mary Poppins Returns, for anyone who wants to know, is that she's cousins with Mary Poppins, and she's got a thing where like every Wednesday, I think, or like the first Wednesday of every month, everything goes upside down, and she's like pressed about it. Sing a song about it, and she's like realizes that it's
okay.
fucking fine. Like it's fine. Whatever psychological issues they have in Mary Poppins, which I'd love to explore sometime, like what their magical deal is and how they feel about it. She kind of plays the
froze for a second, or that was a very timing pause because that was the most strangest thing I've ever seen during these shows.
What?
Like
what happened?
You paused it, but I think there was like a freeze time, and then you continued. It was like perfect. Like somebody edited it.
Huh.
Like
interesting. Live. Okay, that'd be is it happening again? Maybe that's what Eric is doing in the other room. Okay, well I think that's good.
He's editing us live right now, like we're going to disappear.
So that's just the answer for that one. Let's move on to the next one. Riddler's mom or aunt or whatever. That's great.
Man,
that's what she did.
Nailed that. She nailed
it. First one.
5 seconds.
Donna in Hamilton.
Justin Hamilton.
I love this one, but don't put it in another musical, please.
Yeah, how are you gonna combine ABBA and Lin-Manuel Miranda? I guess like pretty not that hard. I guess if you're like if you're doing a jukebox,
you could do it. I mean, ABBA. Wow. Okay. I guess my voice is just tapping out. Hold on.
It's okay. I actually put that spell on you for last week, but I guess it's just catching up now.
Wow, that's a delay.
Just kicking in.
Just kicking in.
That's a big delay.
But yeah, I guess I guess the one thing that Meryl Streep hasn't tapped into is like speak rapping, like some kind of like deaf poetry kind of thing. Yes. That is the one thing she hasn't tapped into. So Hamilton will just be a natural opportunity for Donna to really figure out. Now
I hate to break it to you, but Donna's dead. The character, I'm not joking. Like that's how Mamma Mia 2
dies in the movie, really?
No, she opens the Mamma Mia 2 and she's straight up dead. And you would think that's because Meryl Streep just refused to come back for the sequel, right? No, you're wrong. At the end of the movie, Meryl Streep shows up as a ghost, and you're like, so who made this choice?
As a ghost, like a force ghost, like in Star Wars.
What?
Yeah, the movie
like
is just
blue and everything.
It's the flashback, so it's like interwoven flashbacks of Lily James as young Meryl Streep, and then like what's going on with Amanda Seyfried's life at running the hotel now that her mom has died, and at the end Meryl Streep shows up and is like they do a duet of another ABBA song. It's wacky. They could have just written her like having gone somewhere and just do the same story. No, she straight up died.
Yeah, I feel like death is a little intense for the Mamma Mia series.
I know, it really is. It truly is like a weird thing, because then all three of the dads have to show up again and sort of be their weird Colin Firth, like Stellan Skarsgård, Pierce Brosnan, all grappling with death while like hearing Fernando play. It's a strange one. There's not that many ABBA songs about death. Let me put it that way.
Right? Yeah. That's a natural theme for ABBA with disco and
dancing queens
and gold
and mortality.
Yeah, and mortality. And eternal damnation. Yeah, it's right in.
I feel like because it's a very Grecian story, or like it's like the myth of Persephone. Yeah, I memorized it at one point. Who their island is on top of, what god or whatever. Not Aphrodite, but anyway, yeah, I could see her in Hamilton. She could play. Who are the women in Hamilton? Well, there's Angelica. There's the other one, and then there's Peggy, Miss Peggy.
Eliza. Yeah,
I could see her as like
I didn't say Miss Peg this time, by the way. It was you.
Oh, thanks for the tip, Rob Snark. Let me see what you said.
Shout out to the Canadian.
Shout out to the Canadian. Yeah, is that in regular bucks or is that Winnipeg dollars? Where's my Guy Madden
slice? On your show, Snark, by the way.
Straight up. If Adam's still watching this, I'm not sure if he is, but I'm sure Adam's a big Guy Madden fan as well.
He retweeted your tweet earlier tonight.
Oh, good to know. Other cool things have happened in my life. Other cool things have happened in my life, Danny. You don't have to make it sound so exciting, but that's really cool that he tweeted it out.
I can make everything excited.
Nice.
Today I ate breakfast.
I would be excited if Adam Collins retweeted me. He's
I know. I actually was excited, and then I felt very exposed, so I lashed out defensively. That's how things work here. Like other cool things have happened. Like not today, they haven't. Like that was the highlight of the day. I was like, oh shit, Adam's gonna be watching. That's cool. I sent him something in the mail. Like that's awesome.
I sent something in the mail.
Yeah.
See, everything can be.
I printed out postage. I did the whole thing. And I hope your package is gonna arrive soon. Don't worry, it's fine. We can open it. Let's move on to the next one of these. I'm really nice.
I like that movie.
Sean, it doesn't work if you just make the joke for us.
I like that movie. My favorite Meryl Streep movie.
Yes, what I just realized is the other day was the guy who plays Goro from the new from the old Mortal Kombat movie. Like Goro. He's the guy who did the special effects for this movie.
Oh,
like
he's a very famous
Goro from 95.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it's the guy is like Doug Jones kind of level where he's both an actor, but he's like really well known for doing special effects. I think his name is Sam or Seth, and then I want to say the last name is Worthington, but then I'm just saying the word Sam Worthington, and that's wrong.
Sam Winston? Wait, hold on.
Oh, Winstone maybe? Sam Winstone? Let's see. I'm looking it up now because I heard a very cool story about him, and when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's the same. It's Guru. Let's see. Guru. Oh no, this is a video.
No, that's
well, Stan Winston.
Yoda.
Stan Winston did a lot of stuff for Jurassic Park too.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, that's who you're talking about for Death Becomes Her.
Yeah, then he did the Death. I googled it. Like he did Death Becomes Her, right? Death Becomes.
He very much. This is just escaping me. He very well may have.
Because
when I looked surprised.
I looked up Guru. What's his name?
Goro.
Yeah.
Goro.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him.
See, I don't want to spell in English.
I don't want to get off topic here, but I actually like the new Mortal Kombat movie.
I didn't like the.
I thought it was decent.
Because as someone who only liked Mortal Kombat as like a child and like kind of doesn't remember anything about it, I was like, oh, that's just enough like stuff in there that I was like, get over here. That's what's the thing they said.
I'm the same exact boat. I was pretty casual. I was like, I remember it.
It's a glorified B movie.
Yeah.
But so is Mortal Kombat the game.
Yes, it is. I have no questions about that.
So what are you saying, Marisol?
No, I was in the same boat as you with that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just decent enough.
I think it's worth a sequel. I would like to see a sequel of that movie.
I think that's what everybody's on the same page about. Like for me, like I was like, okay, let's see what they do with the sequel. Because they didn't muck up the intro. The budget's clearly there. And they clearly delivered on the gore, and like they've got the production value from it. And now they hinted at Johnny Cage and everything in the sequel. Hopefully they're going to get rid of Cole Young because he's about as fucking boring as oh my god, ditch that dude. Oh my god.
Which one?
The
movie had a great opening. I think
my favorite part of that movie was the ending where Scorpion straight up like carry my family legacy on, and he says it in Japanese, and then that guy just straight up looks at him like bewildered because, as we know, he does not speak Japanese. He grew up in Chicago, and I'm not sure if that beat's supposed to be there or if it was just poor acting or like whatever. But I just thought that beat was hilarious. I was like, that guy doesn't understand like who you are to him. He doesn't know you.
Well, yeah, that actor gave a lot of Louis Tan gave a lot of blank stares most of that movie, so it tracked.
Yeah.
So we'll never know if that was character work, if that was character work or
if it was something else. Yeah.
Happenstance.
So yeah, it turns out it did turn out Stan Winston did do Death Becomes Her, but for some reason it's like really hard to find that part of it. I don't know why.
Is this going to be asked in the Schmoedown?
No, it's not. I just, if you want to know who plays Guru, whatever.
Goro. Goro.
Oh,
Goro.
Rob's tip from a while ago says, spoilers for Mama 2, everyone. Yeah, sorry, guys. Next
There's
thing.
A very small group of
we haven't even addressed
furious.
This thing. Okay, so it's just like, she's dead in a zombie. Oh, wait, no, actually, no. she's dead, but like the thing in Death Becomes Her is they're zombies, but like they're technically, I guess, what we'd consider zombies, but they have like sentience and they like are themselves. So maybe you could use them against the fight in the zombies. The last time we saw her, she was like she was
This
like
is
decapitated.
smarter than zombies.
Well, yeah. The thing is, in Death Becomes Her, they're still definitely them. They just can never die. Like they take the potion, so they're
Isabel
not.
Rossellini.
Yeah, exactly. Like she and Goldie Hawn, or Meryl and Goldie Hawn are not able to die. Like it's just like they're just officially immortal. Like their bodies still decompose, which I guess is like the zombie part. Like their bodies continue to decompose, but like they don't. They're still them.
Or
They seem as more like vampires, right?
No, it's like they don't regenerate. So like if they get hurt, that's the big thing. It's like if they get, it's not like they decompose. It's more like if they get hurt, the wounds don't heal. So they just have gaping wounds and rotting flesh and like all this stuff.
Exactly. They're not like Wolverine. Yeah. They don't heal. They have to actually repair their bodies. Their bodies are just like flesh that is still like. So it's kind of would fit with Dawn of the Dead. Like it would fit, except that like if Meryl were in Dawn of the Dead, if Madeline Ashton was in Dawn of the Dead, she would absolutely be like the queen bee. Like she would never get her hands dirty. She would just be running. Like she would obviously be the smartest chick on the cinder block, and she would be telling all these brainless zombies like how to. She would be commanding them.
She's on the zombie side. Oh, I like that. Yeah, like because she's undead, so she would like read as one of the undead, and why not control them? She'd be like,
she has no pulse. Yeah, she has no pulse. She checks out as a dead person. They wouldn't catch her scent. She wouldn't have.
Originally I was thinking she was a tool of like the humans, but you're right. This is more like a beast titan kind of mode. I like that. I like that a lot. I do have a Streamlabs from Adam Collins. It's pretty good Streamlabs, the best Streamlabs I've ever seen.
Adams.
Although we've had some really great ones tonight, guys. So keep them coming. Adam's right. Guy Madden is great. I love my Winnipeg. A+. I love saddest music in the world. That's one of my favorites. And it says, ask Marisol about Garmin Bozia and Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Thanks. Garmin Bozia is a topic that I care a lot about. So what's your thoughts on Garmin Bozia?
What is he doing? Okay. All right. I don't know. Just come back to me.
Okay. That's fair. Let's go to the next one of these, Sean.
Is there Adam Collins trying to derail the show?
I can talk about Garmin, but I can talk about Garmin Bozia.
I would love to hear your takes.
Well, Garmin Bozia appears as cream corn, but it's actually all the fear and sadness in the world, or like fear and it's not fear and loathing. It's pain and sadness. Yeah, pain and sadness, I think. And it's what creatures, some entities feed off of. Even if those entities themselves are not malicious, they can gain energy from Garmin Bozia. So it's also how like tulpas can exist in this world. Is they're like fueled by or made out of Garmin Bozia in some respects. It's all about the atomic bomb and Bob, but that's my thought is like Jude feeds off of Garmin Bozia and the pain and sadness in the world are things that make her stronger. And it looks like cream corn. Sound right?
I do like cream corn.
Yeah.
That's a good take.
Three Ninjas High Noon. Any thoughts? At Magic Mountain?
Cinematic classics right there.
Is that a movie? Three Ninjas at Magic Mountain?
I know Three Ninjas. I know Three Ninjas is.
Three Ninjas High Noon. It sounds like a version of Three Ninjas where they went to the Old West. Maybe I'm just gonna speculate.
And met Gary Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to know a ninja.
I will never. It's also like the best thing ever is when Ben guessed Three Ninjas and the answer was Surf Ninjas and Clark Wolf got it right, and that was a really good moment in Schmoedown. Like I don't know if it's on the clip page, but it's really
anything involving ninjas is gonna be a great time.
I always wanted to have a ninja.
Beverly Hills Ninjas. That's fine. That's middling. So let's see. I'm looking it up now. I'm just Googling real quick to see if they go back in time, like Ninja Turtles, or if they hold on. So now you got me interested, Adam. While we're doing that, Miranda Priestley in let's see. Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's another thing that I just watched because of you, Marisol. I've done so much for you. For someone who hates sitting down and actually watching long movies, I've done so much for you. This movie was
that's love.
this
I'm
movie's
honored.
they're so fucking long. We watched the director's cut of like all
Did you
three of
the-
them.
You watched
Wait.
the director's cut? You watched the extended editions? Good Christ, Drew.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait.
what is valid for the Schmoedown? The theatrical one or the extended one?
I think in singles it's only the regular cuts. Or I don't know.
In singles, it's only the theatrical cuts. In IG, it's
Yes,
it's
everything.
the extended. Yeah.
I think that can mess you up a little bit though, because like you think about like things that did happen or didn't happen in extended edition. Anyway, you asked me like the name of the tree thing, and I would like tell you the exact right answer, or like like any of those Lord of the Ring things, or like how to pronounce people's names. I'm excellent on. Don't even question it. I just know them automatically now.
Oh shit.
And don't worry about it, guys. And I've watched all 3 of these movies that exist in the whole franchise, as far as I'm concerned.
There are another 3.
There are only 3 in the Middle Earth franchise. You're good.
As far as I am concerned, I figured like the rest of them, I was like, oh, I'll figure it out through multiple choice.
Yeah, it's very guessable. Like
they're super guessable. Like names like Arwen and Armin, Arwen and Aramin and whatever. They're just when everyone's name sounds the
you're
same.
going to get it from context. That's for sure.
Exactly. The Light of Arendelle, as far as I know. It's like
the
the place
sword
from Frozen.
of Mindegard.
Is that a real thing? Yes, that's a real thing.
That is not a real thing. I literally just made that up.
Never
That
mind.
is a sword, though, but I don't know the name of it. What's the name of the sword?
I feel like Arendelle is that
Place from Frozen.
kingdom in Frozen.
It is, but I call it the Sword of Arendelle, and I think they'd have to take it because it's kind of really close to the name.
It's in the same
Arendelle?
universe.
It's like
You
a
can
sword
make
of
the
Arendelle?
argument for Arendelle, but you can make the argument for pronunciation.
Yeah, and I would make that argument so hard. And that's basically me for every single name of anything in Lord of the Rings. I was like, I was like, what's Smeagol? I was like, his friend's name is like Beagle or Teagle or Deagle, but like I feel like I can make a good argument for why any of those are fine as long as I'm in the general area.
Benefit of the doubt, true, man.
It's Deagle.
Look,
Deagle.
start on the benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt.
I would use that every single answer.
Yeah, all need apply with that rule this year. So
I'm so surprised I've not made any challenges since my epic, amazing first season challenge.
Not in the categorical question.
I've never made a categorical challenge ever again. First season, I made a challenge when they asked in horror. You know how first round is horror thriller, right? Like that's the name of the category. Well, in this one, they just said horror thriller. In what horror movie stars Willem Dafoe, Jared Leto, and Christian Bale?
God.
And everyone wrote their answers down, and I was like, I don't know, like a horror movie that like stars those guys.
American Psycho.
yeah, American Psycho is debatable. It's
not a horror movie.
I did debate it, and I won because it's not listed as horror.
I agree with that challenge.
Yeah.
It's not a what is that in that
it's
film that's
firmly
horror?
thriller. Yeah,
Well, it's firmly
thriller more.
And they,
yeah,
and
Like
they
the
made
gore-
the
the gore looks
exception
like horror.
because I asked for a repeat. They made the exception to point out that it was a horror movie. They were like, in the horror thriller category, what horror movie? And I was like, there's
Yeah,
unless I'm
that
forgetting, like,
wording the question. Yeah.
Anyway, since winning that challenge, I should be really like full of myself and always challenging things on the benefit of the doubt. But I have not yet because that's not the kind of game that I feel comfortable playing. I feel like
that I would push back because it's part of the game. If you need to challenge. I don't like when viewers, and I say that as a fan, like push back on competitors because they challenge.
I mean,
it's not fair. Like it's part of the game.
Here's just my hot take: Rowdy versus Rowdy. That's fine. Tartuga, inexcusable. Like calling it Tortuga, that's not fine. That means you haven't listened to the Captain Jack Sparrow song from Lonely Island enough times. That's my only thought on recent challenges.
I mean, I won't expect people to know another language.
I think it's a whole other beast when you get into IG, and I think that it's not. I think both answers, frankly, were unacceptable in IG. I think specifically in IG, even excluding the precedent from the past, where literally championships have been lost on a single letter. Right. Exactly. Or an article. Like, I think that where we are, like what we are in IG, where the game keeps evolving, I think, and because it's so finite and everybody can study obsessively right to the finite detail these movies and the terms in these movies, I think there's no room with IG. I think you need to be tighter on IG with the rulings.
I think Arendelle
singles,
counts for Arendelle counts for singles, not for IG.
Singles and teams, when you're trying to learn about all the movies ever made ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt. Exercise the rule in those leagues, in those divisions, but not in IG. Sorry.
Would you ever consider joining IG? I mean, I feel like that's something you'd probably
that was my question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I've definitely considered IG. It's one of those things where like I've said this before and other things too. I'm cool saying it. Like it's just based on where I am on my faction right now. My faction is very IG loaded. Yeah, my faction is very IG loaded, so it's not my time, it's not my place.
Are you ever thought about learning Star Wars, like all the things in Star Wars that ever interest you?
I learn a lot of things about Star Wars. I already know casually a lot about Star Wars, and I learn more every day by proxy because I've got some Star Wars heavy people in my
shout out to Sean Sullivan.
Yes, that's just one. I've got Star Wars heavy. My faction is loaded with Star Wars lovers.
Cheers.
Now that's the thing that I grew up on, like learning all the names, learning everything, and then have like as an adult, almost like my brain again, just being very contentious of a person, like have because of the fandom of it, have like actively tried to unlearn a lot of Star Wars. Like I feel my brain just does that without me knowing it. Like I will just unlearn things that I used to read the extended canon books. I used to be so pressed on Star Wars as like a little kid. And
Jaina Solo, I remember that photo.
Yeah. I knew the names of all the kids and everything. And now as an adult, I'm like, put that to the side.
And nothing counts anymore. By the way,
I'm like Dripping the Cool is the only thing that I've ever gotten right in the Star Wars questions. But don't try playing that against me, anyone who's listening to this broadcast, because I will learn it. Just like I learned all the things from Lord of the Rings.
We can edit this episode and remove this section.
I'm ready to go into a
saga.
Iron Man, Lord of the Rings match with you now. All right, I'm ready to go, Drew. Let's do it. Let's do it.
No trivia, please. I hate trivia. I hate trivia. With all my life. I don't know what I'm doing here. And hosting a movie trivia after show.
Hey, do it for the friends you make along the way. Right?
No, but to be honest, shout out to Adelia. She made an incredible spreadsheet.
I don't know why.
To help Drew with Lord of the Rings. Because she loves Lord of the Rings.
I can't hear you. Let's see.
Smart lady. It's because she's smart.
She's a very smart lady. I love Adelia very much. And she's smiling backstage. I see you smiling, Adelia. Stop laughing. Now.
Yeah, I don't know why. My mic is totally unable to hear anything. Even when I pull it out.
What's happening, Drew?
I don't really know what to do about that because I can't do anything about the fact that I can't hear.
So cool.
You cannot hear us?
So I guess we'll kind of like end the show there.
Wait,
sorry, hold on.
He really can't hear us. Oh my god.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
you can hear me. You can hear me. Okay, shit. I don't know what happened, and I pulled my headphones out and everything, and I still can't hear. That's super weird.
Battery.
Okay, well, I guess since I feel like that's kind of
wow, like, that's
kind of game over if I can't hear audio. Why don't we just do our plugs and then try to get out of here? I am wearing earplugs, yeah. Marisol,
another
where can people like find
earplugs.
you?
You can find me first and foremost on Trivia Schmoedown. That's probably my most prevalent. That's my biggest internet presence. You know, I compete on there. I just earned a very, very hard-fought victory against the illustrious Videodrew.
Yes, you did. And you have a upcoming match, a very big match for your career, right?
Dude, I have the next Titan in my path. I have Janine the Machine coming up
Yes.
in a
And
couple
you know
weeks.
the outcome of that as well, right?
And if I get past her, I will be playing a little indie director, a very little known guy who's getting exposure now through the Schmoedown is Kevin Smith.
He's a beginner in the film industry for sure.
I think he just released his first, so he's trying to get out there. He's trying to use Schmoedown to get himself up there. So, but yeah,
finally I take over the show, Marisol. Yay! Look, it was wonderful having you here. Really, I hope you had a great time.
I did. I all things come out after dark, and I think that I tapped into a new side of my. I think the Lady Justice tapped into a new side of herself after dark.
Lady just discovered a new thing. Anyway, guys, Drew had this Sunday problems. You can find me always on Let's Get Ready Network, which we do a Schmoedown after show. We have to get you, Marisol, very soon there. I think you saw us sometimes, like Adam has been there a couple of times as well. People on Corruption. We'd love to have you. So I'm already inviting you, lady. Maybe after your match with Janine, we're going to talk about it. And you can always find me here on Live in the Dark with Videodrew, and she's kind of back. She's back.
Oh, and I can hear you.
Yeah, I was plugging in, but if you want to continue the show for me, it's fine.
I'm so sorry about that, guys. That was
no problem.
Fault, but that's fine. We needed to wrap up anyway. Guys, all doing good. Like I said, guys, there's a post-show Zoom call. Sorry, this had me really flustered. I was worried. Marisol, I didn't even get to hear your plugs, and I want to know where I can find you, but I guess we can talk about that after the fact. You can find me over here on this channel, where on Mondays and Thursdays we do the VideoChronic pop culture quiz, which tomorrow is a Patreon request. So go to the Patreon, sign up. You can do fun things like request quizzes. I believe it's AJ Lancaster's request of doing the new Mortal Kombat movie. So that's going to be
nice, AJ.
20 questions, contextual IG level questions, but about any movie or franchise or occasionally TV shows. We need to have you on for one of those, Marisol. What's your favorite? What would be one movie you could dominate everyone else in?
Lord of the Rings.
That's already IG.
The Bakshi version? Oh man.
Yeah.
No, boo. No, I mean maybe, but I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it. One movie that I could dominate people on, I would really dominate people on Children of Men.
Nice.
That was Rob Snark's cinema bias thing. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Either that or I don't know, Collateral, that Michael Mann, John.
I just saw that the other day. You know every detail about we're oh my god, we're like his. What are the context questions of Collateral? I mean, there's a bunch, but I'm trying to remember where they were. They're Los Angeles, what freeway they took. I mean, it's all just questions like the Californian sketch in SNL. It's they got off the 405 and on the 1.
All right, so fine.
We got a super.
I'll take Jurassic Park instead. How about I do that? I'll take Jurassic Park.
Oh,
you ask me literally anything about Jurassic Park, I'll answer it correctly. Literally anything.
I might take you up on that. I saw that movie 12 times in the theater when I was a kid because I was obsessed with Dr. Ian Malcolm. Thought he was a real dude. Had this horrible revelation once in a swimming pool during a swim meet where I realized he wasn't and Jeff Goldblum was a dude and I'd never be able to meet Dr. Ian Malcolm. Stopped mid breaststroke and just got out of the pool and just started bawling. And I was 12, a little too old to have that realization. It was a whole thing. Anyway, you can also find me here on Tuesdays when I do Cinema Bias around 8 p.m. with Alex Mack. This week we're doing Paths of Glory. It's by Kubrick. It's the war one that's not about, I don't think it's about, molesting a woman from the opposite side. That's the other one.
Oh, Fear and Desire.
Yeah.
I
forget what movie it was or what TV show was making a Fear and Desire bit happen, but that's now what I think of Kubrick war movies. I guess there's always Dr. Strangelove and Full Metal Jacket. So there's a bunch. Sundays. What is it?
He does war, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does like war. I can imagine those shots were hellish to like live through. Then you can find me here on Sundays doing Live in the Dark, and generally Twitch, all social media, everything. Videodrew. It's one word. It's all caps, and it is my name.
One word.
Like I said, guys, stick around if you are part of the Patreon, patreon.com/Videodrew for the post show. We got a super chat in. Oh, make her do a quiz on the Michael Keaton classic, Mr. Mom. Would you be able to do a Mr. Mom quiz? Let's just say that she probably can.
No, it's been years. It has been decades since I've seen that movie.
Oh, I got it confused. I'm still forgetting who directed it, even though that was recently asked during a study session, because I keep confusing it for Multiplicity. Is it Barry Levinson or is it?
I don't know who directed Mr. Mom. Sorry, world.
Okay. So I'll put that down.
I fail as a competitor. I fail as a competitor. Exactly. I'm sorry.
It's like Ramis. It's Ramis, I think, maybe. Anyway.
Ramis? Okay.
By the way, Drew, before you put the credits, I just want to say I'm happy that we are back. And I'm also happy that I was not the first one that flooded with the gas. It was you this time. So I think we are even now.
Flooded with the gas? What are you talking about?
Flooded with the gas, like the jury.
Okay.
Oh.
So you're even now. You know, you don't have any reason to be mad at me anymore.
Gotcha. I got you. And it turns out it was nobody I've ever heard of. It's Stan Dragoti. But John Hughes wrote the screenplay. So there we go. Stan Dragoti is the answer to that question. Whatever Danny said, probably I disagree with. Thank you for everyone who donated. And yeah, Overlord is kind of a remake of that thing. And also Overlord has Wyatt Russell in it, who I've been tracking for a very long time. Okay, I forgot to play the intro credits, so let's play both credits now. Oh no, we did play intro credits, just the end credits.
No, you played the intro credits.
Goodbye forever, I said.